NFL fans, welcome back to the Friday Football Roundtable, sponsored by Coors Light. I'm Nataf Romaine, he's Derek Gabriel, and we are in Week 3 of the NFL season, a week after a collapse against the New York Jets, in which he turned the ball over twice in the deciding fourth quarter. Tony Romo was forced from the game against the San Francisco 49ers with a cracked rib, but that didn't stop the show. He returned, leading the team to glory with a gusty comeback. Under his direction and leadership, the Cowboys pulled off an improbable 27-24 victory in overtime. Swag back, Derek, or will he be back to the slump come Monday night against a now formidable Washington Redskins?
Well, Nataf, I think Tony Romo has a lot of questions to answer. Number one, can he be comfortable in the pocket knowing that he has that injury right under his arms? I mean, a rib that possibly punctured a lung is a really big injury. Nothing small about that one. I think he's got to overcome that mental hurdle if he can even get back in there, because let's face it, a cracked rib is nothing small. I'm looking for him maybe to sit this one out. You're looking at a Redskins team that smells blood in the water. If you're taking my advice, Tony Romo, sit this one out, come back next week.
All right, so who'd have thunk it? We're talking about the Buffalo Bills. DG, a blowout win in Week 1. Got our attention, but then they come back and staged a big comeback last week and has people checking for them left and right. The Bills are amongst the league's 7 unbeatens. This week, though, they've got the powerhouse that is the New England Patriots. Buffalo has to come out on the losing end of their meetings for the last 15 straight games between the two AFC East rivals. What will it take for the Bills to beat the Pats?
Well, again, Natafa, mental hurdles. You talked about history. I'm a history major. Looking at it, they've got to overcome the fact that the Patriots are the big bad Patriots. They've got to get out of that awestruck, starstruck moment when they see Tom Brady come out onto that field. And they've got to own the moment. Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown 7 touchdowns with 1 interception this season. I think he's playing great football. They've just got to believe in him, continue to believe in him. Both sides of the ball have to play an impeccable game. With that being said, I just don't think Tom Brady is going to be sidetracked. I mean, let's face it, the man has been phenomenal this season thus far. I think we're looking at history repeating itself again.
Good point, but the Patriots are ranked second to last on the defensive side of the ball and are dealing with numerous injuries in the defensive backfield. I think it might just be enough to accomplish a dream, or it could be wake-up time for the Bills. Moving on, it's pick time. Giants face off against the Eagles. If he doesn't exhibit strange behavior between now and Sunday, and if he doesn't have any headaches or side effects, Mike Vick almost is certain to hit the field. Are the Eagles in trouble against their tri-state rivals? Absolutely. The last 6 times the Eagles and the Giants have met in what should be the second best rivalry in the NFL, the Eagles have won all 6 games. Here's how the Giants can win. Eli Manning will have to avoid a sack from Trent Cole and find one of his pedestrian receivers behind Eagles cornerback Nnamdi Asomugha. It's just not going to happen. Eagles take this one without Vic.
Well, I've got to say this. I think that the Eagles are in a great position going into this game. I think the Giants have a banged-up receiver core that Eli Manning has got to get adjusted to. With that being said, the Eagles also have their own struggles. I mean, we're not sure if we're going to see Mike Vick, Vince Young, this other guy, I can't even pronounce his name. We don't know who's going to show up, but I think the Eagles secondary is gelling at the perfect time. Last week, we saw Nnamdi had an interception, and we saw Asante Samuel had an interception. I don't think we can get over that. I'm looking for the Eagles to come out big.
All right, so next game, the Bucs and the Falcons face off. Derek, your thoughts first off.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Natafa. I'm looking for Matt Ryan to continue what he did last week. I looked at that game, and he just had some amazing connections. I mean, look at that touchdown pass to Mr. Gonzalez in the back of the end zone. It was just tremendous, having the one-hand grab. The defense played some awesome ball. They're looking for turnovers. They're hungry. And they've got a Bucs team that's still trying to find themselves. I think Josh Freeman has had some pretty tough going early in the season, so I'm looking for the Atlanta Falcons to come out big and take advantage of the Bucs still trying to find out who they are.
All right, Bucs did show a lot of moxie coming up from 17 points from behind to win against Minnesota, but the swag is on full throttle in the ATL. Remember, the Falcons have Michael Turner, who remains a threat. They've also opened things up a bit with quarterback Matt Ryan. He threw 4 touchdown passes Sunday night as Atlanta rallied to beat Philadelphia, and he is on pace to throw nearly 400 times a season. I think Ryan and the Falcons are going to be a little too much for the Bucks in this one. Moving on, the Skins and the Cowboys, we discussed this a little bit earlier. Now, nobody is taking the Skins seriously since God knows when, and I'm not starting now. Everyone knows I'm an Eagles fan, so my loathe for both teams are just about equal, but I have a lot more faith in the boys than I do the Skins. What about you, Derek?
Well, I've got to say the Cowboys have a lot to overcome. They've got injuries galore. I'm talking Felix Jones. I'm talking Des Bryant. I'm talking Austin Miles. I'm talking Tony Romo. And we haven't even gone to the defensive side where they've got a couple struggles as well. So I think the Cowboys, again, have to redefine who they are going into this game. John Kitna looked just atrocious, brocious going into last week. So they've got to put some of that faith that you've got in them in Tony Romo to recover. I just don't see it happening. We've got Rex Grossman, who looks phenomenal. When's the last time you said that? Who knows? But the Skins are doing great. They've been able to get the ball into some of their playmakers' hands. And I think that defensive side just has been licking their chops for the Cowboys quarterback. I think the Skins are going to come out big on this one, Natafa.
All right, so that'll wrap things up for this week. And of course, you can tune in to CBS TV2 this Sunday for the best action in the AFC. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Friday Football Roundtable, brought to you by Coors Light.
It's the Coors Light Win the Ultimate Fan Cave contest. All you have to do is scratch and win at Caribbean Saloon, Shipwreck, Fat Turtle, Sibs, and Fort Christian Brew Pub. Spell touchdown, then enter to win the grand prize.